Why are professional players so good at COD Mobile? It's because they're very good at aiming. Turn on any pro player stream and you'll see that their aim is insanely accurate to the point where people accuse them of hacking. And I'm here to show you my secret of how I went from having the worst aim to never missing a single shot again within just a few weeks. We'll start with the basics and then move on to some pro level advanced tips, and stay tuned for the last one because it is a secret tip that I never told anyone. Starting with tip number 1, we have crosshair placement. This little dot on the center of your screen is called your crosshair, and most people ignore it, but it is actually very important for your aim. You should always make sure to keep your crosshair at the perfect height, like on the gameplay you're seeing right now. This way, when an enemy comes in front of you, your aim will automatically be at the enemy's body without you even thinking about it. This is mainly how I was able to improve my aim within just a very short time. A lot of people keep their crosshair facing down when they're running around the map, and this causes them to have a terrible aim and they end up getting killed. And that's exactly why it's important to have your crosshair facing up. When this becomes a muscle memory and you start doing it naturally, this simple habit will make you feel way more confident on your aim. But if you want to increase that confidence even more, then you have to work on your sensitivity, because your sensitivity is something that significantly affects your aiming skills. So here's what you have to do. Go to your sensitivity settings and find your ADS sensitivity and turn it down by 15. This way you'll be able to track your enemies more effectively, because now you're using a slightly lower sensitivity than before. I know this might seem like a small change, but trust me, I did this exact thing back in 2022 and it literally made a night and day difference on my aim. And this might be why your aim sucks as well, so make sure to lower your sensitivity. Now watch this clip and see if you can tell the difference between the two frames. Well, in the left frame, the enemy looks significantly smaller and harder to target, but on the right one, the enemy is much bigger and way easier to aim at. But why does one look bigger than the other? This is because I'm using 75 as my FOV value instead of setting it to the max like every other person. If you're playing on a phone, then please use 75 as your FOV setting because you're already playing on a smaller screen than an iPad. Believe it or not, this is something that could be secretly holding you back from having a great aim, so make sure to change your FOV to 75. The next tip allowed me to reduce the shake of my weapon when I'm firing. By default, your screen shakes a lot when you're firing your weapon, and this can have a negative effect on your aim. So go to your weapon performance settings and turn all your kick skill values to 0. And after doing that, now you can focus more on your aim because the shaking will be gone. It's a small change, but it really makes a big difference on your accuracy when you're playing the game more seriously. You also need to fix your ADS button, because if you move your finger when you're scoped in, your aim also moves. To fix this, go to your settings and turn off a setting called the ADS button for rotation. And now, no matter how far you move your finger, your ADS button will not ruin your aim. You'll notice the difference it makes on your aim within just a few matches. Alright, now it's time to step it up a notch with the intermediate tips. And we're starting with how to control recoil patterns. Whenever I'm using a new weapon, I straight up memorize the recoil pattern of that gun, and this allows me to have an insane accuracy. And here's how to do it. First, go to your loadout and make sure that you're using the right weapon, and then head over to this area of the training mode. Now start firing your weapon and pay attention to the recoil pattern it makes. If the recoil goes upwards, then swipe downwards to counteract the recoil of the gun. Similarly, if the recoil moves to the right, swipe to the left to counter the recoil. Once you get the hang of it, you'll immediately start noticing that your aim is a lot better than before. Trust me, recoil control is more powerful than you think. But you know what's more powerful than controlling your recoil? Learning how to pre-aim your weapon. Whenever you're in a popular angle of a map, make sure to scope in so if an enemy appears, you can kill them without any effort. This way, your aim will be ready to go all the time and you can land more shots on your opponent. For example, I always make sure to scope in whenever I'm passing through this alleyway and firing range, because I know that it's a popular area of the map and a lot of people pass through this lane. And you don't even have to scope in too hard, just scope in for a second and maybe add a slide to it, and you'll see how effective it really is. Now, do you want to make your game go from looking like this to looking like this? This makes your enemies way more easy to spot, allowing you to have a better aim. So to do this, go to your settings and find something called the MP mode graphics style, and then click on one of the custom settings and it'll take you to the training mode where we will be adjusting some colors. Head over to advanced and click on the color orange, then set the saturation to 60 and the brightness to 63. Now you'll be able to see your enemies way better inside shadows even if it's dark. Honestly, this is one of the best things I did to improve my aim, and you should definitely do it too. Okay, so now we're really moving into the pro level tips, and let's start with tracking because this is the most important part of having a good aim. In order to practice your tracking, go to your training mode and set these as your parameters, and then add one bot to the game, and the bot will start crouching and moving in circles. Your job is to scope in and track the head of the bot while he's moving around. Do this for 10 to 15 minutes every day, and once you build the muscle memory for tracking, you'll basically be unstoppable. People who master tracking are basically the legal version of aimbot. Next is the most powerful tip of this video, and that is practicing on aim labs. Now this is not a sponsored video, but I genuinely recommend using aim labs to practice your aim. They literally have a COD mobile section, and you can practice all kinds of stuff in here like flicking and even your reaction time. You can even customize the HUD to match the one that you use in COD mobile, which is perfect for practicing your aim. Like I said, this thing is filled with drills you can practice, so try it out. The final tip is to use Gear Up Booster when you're playing to make sure that you're not lagging. Gear Up Booster will reduce your ping and give you a smoother connection when you're playing COD mobile, so there will be no delay on your aim. I'll make sure to leave the link to download Gear Up on the description, so make sure to use it when you're playing. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.